Good evening, everybody, to all the participants, as well as to Dr. Sunil Sharma. So, today, just to begin this, before beginning this session, first of all, I would like to inform you all that NISM, under the aegis of both SEBI as well as IOSCO, which is the International Organization of Securities Commission. So, IOSCO, as you all would be aware, it's basically an association of all the securities market regulators worldwide. So they have declared this week, October 6th to 12th, as the World Investor Week. And NISM has been observing this October 6th to 12th as a World Investor Week. And on this occasion, we have been organizing a series of investor education webinars and covering a wide range of topics from personal finance to digital finance to cyber security and various critical topical issues also in securities markets such as transmission. So today we have this. Today we have this topic on defending your digital investment wallet, navigating AI, fintech risks, and sophisticated scams. So this particular session is an amalgamation of the main themes of World Investor Week. The main themes which the IOSCO had given for the World Investor Week was technology and digital finance. Then we had artificial intelligence, and third was fraud and scam prevention. So this session will be taken by Dr. Sunil Sharma. And Dr. Sunil Sharma is graduated from BITS Pilani. He's a postgraduate from IIM Bangalore. He holds a PhD in Fintech area from the University of Rajasthan. And he's also done his postdoctoral studies in certified academic practice at Lancaster University, UK. Dr. Sharma, of course, has 30 years of experience in digital technologies and analytics, and he has been actively involved in deep tech research in the areas of cognitive automation, risk, and operation analytics. He's been consulting various businesses and VCs and has been engaged with over 20 ventures in domains like automation, MarTech, FinTech, MidTech, New Media, SaaS, and DTC, D2C. He was earlier also a director for executive programs as SP Jain, and he has been otherwise also taking a lot many sessions at NISM also. So, just to give you a context about this particular webinar that Sir is going to address, this session is going to cover the essentials of cybersecurity for investors, the core concepts. It's the CIA triad, which stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So these three things are going to be juxtaposed with common threats such as phishing, malware, and social engineering. Now, the significant part of the discussion, which Dr. Sunil Sharma will be doing, it will be dedicated to the evolving threat, the landscape, because nowadays all of us are using smartphones, all of us are using so many apps. We are on the web every time for all our needs and all that stuff. So he is going to actually set a context that where does the threat landscape arises from, how we can specifically address the AI-driven cyber threats and the risk of deep fake technology and financial fraud. Where AI can be, in fact, you all would be aware, AI is being used to craft very convincing scams, and the deep fakes are leveraged to impersonate executives or advisors, or you can even say the top notches, maybe even in the ministries, maybe in the regulators. And it's been quite convincing for them to, to lead people to believe that they are the ones who've been actually approaching them for some kind of transaction and all those kind of things. So all these are leading to fraudulent transactions. So to combat these advanced threats, the webinar is going to outline essential cybersecurity precautions for investors. And NISM is pleased to welcome Dr. Sunil Sharma. And before we begin with the session, as you all know, NISM is a capacity building initiative of SEBI. And we are into various domains, like we have certifications, we have our e-learning programs, we have various full-time academic programs, short-term as well as long-terms. We do some trainings. And one important leg that NISM does is the investor education. So we promote investor awareness through NISM's advocacy efforts. And it's basically through the investor education programs, the classrooms, as well as the webinars. We have various master classes which are held by a director. You can see it online also. The YouTube recordings are available. There is a National Financial Literacy Quiz and various CSR initiatives. So this was about NISM, just to give you the context. And now I hand over to Dr. Sunil Sharma to please take the session forward. Thank you, participants. So you may please take over from here.
Thank you, Ms. Rasmeet. It was a nice introduction. And this topic is all about uh, cyber security. We are celebrating this cyber security week, and we thought this is the right time to discuss about, especially in the context of investment. So, how to define your digital investment? All the investment they are using digital tools, and specifically we are going to talk, as Rasmeet has already introduced the topic to you. So I'll quickly move on the topic without wasting much time here about NISM. We have already been told it's, uh, it's, uh, NISM is a public trust company, and they carry a wide range of capacity building. I'm happy to be part of this. You can get more details on their website. So, in short, what I'm going to cover is these are the concepts, uh, some contextualization related to cyber security. What are the core concepts, importance? Then we'll immediately jump on the new types of cyber threat, especially coming from the AI part. It's too early to even visualize what is going to happen in these areas, but we have already started seeing where we are headed, especially on the terms of deepfake technology and so on, and what implication it's going to do on financial side, and for investors, what are the basic risks. We are going to cover those trends and regulations towards the end, and most importantly, we are also going to discuss about the investors precautions and what kind of various scams, how they can protect themselves from their different scams which are going on, basically using the advanced tech. We are going to handle the Q&A segment, I was told, towards the end. So we'll spend some time. If you have any queries, please note it down. And also you can keep on posting. If I will, we can check out those Q&A during the session. We'll definitely answer those, but definitely we intend to answer these towards the end. The YouTube recording of this will be available at this particular link. So, in short, what is cyber security? I hope my audio is clear and you can see my slides nicely. Any issues at that? Please just check and post on chat. And if you want to, you can't unmute and you want to answer some queries which have been raised here on the slides, you can please feel free to keep posting on the chat. We are constantly going to monitor. Let me also bring up my chat window inside uh, my front screen so that I can quickly see what is being discussed at the chat so that I can also participate there as well. So cyber security we have this framework which we call CIA, and this all tends means confidentiality, integrity, availability. So any breach around these, if your confidential information is taken away, someone is just listening to what you are talking about, someone. It can be in a chat window, it can be on email. So if someone hacker hacks our chat window here, they are able to see what we are discussing here in this very important meeting. Similarly, integrity, that all the information which is transferred from point A to point B, they are not tampered with. So if I'm quoting some kind of bid, quote, and so on, which is done digitally nowadays, and if someone changes those data for me, this is going to be a very big, huge loss to my company. So integrity of information is also important. And one important aspect which you normally forget is about the availability. So if your competitor tend to stop your website accessibility and your website is not available, then there is going to be a big loss to my company. Um, just hypothetical scenario, we have Amazon and we have Flipkart. And just in a hypothetical scenario, Flipkart use some cyber attack or anybody use any cyber attack, and your Amazon website is not available during these big sales day and so on. So it's a complete loss to the company where their users are not able to access the services. And that is definitely going to bring down the quality of services. If any digital medium where the product and services are being offered by the company, they are being challenged in such a way. So these tricks are being utilized by non-professional companies which tend to use these methods against their competitors. Of course, I'm not promoting those, but this is how we need to keep track on how CIA basically gives an idea about the overall framework of information security. Now, the common threats, as we have already know, they are phishing, malware. Someone put a small script into your website. Uh, it can be transferred through any email message. All the links that we click basically can have external script running down, which can get an access to your memory and the business processes which you are running in any app or website. Social engineering here is more about very elaborate attacks where uh, where a hacker is aware of your situation, and they have done a lot of analysis about what you are doing, what your personality is, how you are going to behave in this particular scenario. I'll give you one quick example. A hacker is aware of that your spouse or your children or your near dear has gone to airport, right, from your house. And what they are going to do is immediately call that, based on that situational context, they will create a scenario that you have been caught into customs because you are traveling, your spouse is traveling, and then you need to click on these links in order to fill those forms and do the initial payment to clear out this and so on. Like these are very hypothetical scenarios, but these are really happening. And uh, why it is called social engineering? Because they are normally in context. You will definitely put no brainer here to believe what the hacker is saying, because it is very much related to the way you operate, or something is going on in your life is very much related to that. Someone trying to book a vacation and so on, and they sense that you are trying to book a vacation, they can impose as hotel chain or resort chain and can start sending you offer, because this is exactly what they know, that you are going for a booking very soon. And that's why it's called social engineering. They understand what you plan to do. Then corporate point of view, there can be insiders who will support the hacker by giving key username password which can be used by hacker, or they at least inform the hacker about what is the basic architecture, security architecture, where the data center is located, where the servers are located, and who are the key people involved in this, and what is their email ID. Even if these informations are passed on to any hacker, they can become uh, very critical information for hacker. So otherwise, in the absence of these information, the hacker might take a lot of time to attempt the event. But since this information is now readily available through some insider, the attacks become easy and to operate, right? So if you have an insider helper, these things can become big challenge. So for enterprise level, this is a big challenge, that how to keep on checking the ethical level of employees and so on. So let me take you to some other area of the recent areas and what is latest happening in AI-driven world. We have been hearing a lot of AI throughout, and it got recent popularity because of Chat GPT. And what we have understood so far, and Chat GPT is basically a LLM, large language model, which has given us access to a lot of models which can generate a lot of content for any user. So these things were available, readily available to large ITs companies earlier. It's not a new development. Of course, the models and the speed and um, uh, the availability of such systems to common user like you and me is getting much better. So in this scenario, but AI has been a is quite been in development from quite some time. It's nothing. It's not a new concept. But looking into this popularity, and especially I am concerned with the availability of this important tool in the hands of common men like you and me, and also common hackers, I would say. Uh, this becomes little slightly challenging. So, little discussion about this. What can be done in this particular area. The disclaimer here is that I am not giving you ideas for the hacking attempts, but what I am giving you is insights about various types of hacking attempts which can be, origin from, which can originate from the use of AI/ML. So the first of the thing is the AI-powered cyber attacks. They are using basically the machine learning. And machine learning has allowed hackers to deploy create sophisticated tools using these algorithms. And they can craft various convincing scams using these technologies. If you see this right hand side, what basically the cybersecurity is. Cybersecurity, consists of technology, processes, and control. This is the definition of cybersecurity. But the same definition here also applies to cyber attack. Okay, within cyber attack, also we are using the technologies, process, and the control. Uh, how this is being conducted, is the same thing for cyber attack as well. So, so if you see, every technology, since they have got positive, negative, side, the attackers use LLMs, they use AI, and they can craft these phishing messages so nicely, and they can be, based on stolen data already. And this basically is going to enhance two things: is the volume of attacks which are going to happen. Um, is going to be very large. Secondly, the success rate of such attacks, because they are so convincing, there are no new models, new tricks, new stories which are going to be built around stolen data. And that the social engineering aspect that we were discussing in previous slide is going to be very, very interestingly, deployed by these hackers. So the success rate is going to increase. Secondly, the volume point of view, we did a recent research. What we are estimating is the number of attacks which happened last year in 2024. We are going to see a 70x kind of figure, 70. It's not 17, 70x kind of figure we are expecting. So that is the kind of volume which is going to increase now. Uh, uh, in the attack surface category. Now, uh, so first of all, we should understand this composition. AI can generate large number of emails. They can, based on the stolen data, and then instead of targeting it to for n number of people, it is doing converting it into buckets of social engineering based models, and they are basically trying to see that which model, which story is going to have a better success rate on what target group of customers, right? So the basic idea is to fooling investors, and but instead of having a blanket machine gun kind of attack, is going to be more sniper oriented attack. But in this case, the sniper attack is more again like a high volume game, like they will be able to target millions of users at a time. Now this speed and volume is going to put a add-on pressure on existing uh, cybersecurity solutions. The cybersecurity solutions, we are again just trying to learn how to cope up with this particular scenario. So first of all, the revealing credentials and creating an authorization, creating a convincing story. All these things are, AI is going to be utilized in order to do this. So in summary, this AI-driven malware here is basically using, this traditional signature-based defenses that we used to have is going to make detection very hard because they are able to fine-tune these. They are able to, evade from the existing cyber security solutions that we have. Some more examples. So let's talk about just one. Since LLM is now can create a lot of fake media and content. Now, in simple terms, what impact it can have on financial frauds? So here, if the deepfakes, they are able to generate synthetic audio, video, and they are able to generate images, they are able to generate text, and so on. Now, most of the cybersecurity element, let's say two-factor authentication, which are based on these things, is going to be very easily available to the hacker for in order to crack it. Now, suppose somebody is using a DMAT account where they have enabled their voice control system, thinking that this is going to be a two-factor authentication. This has been already taught by cyber experts to have two-way authentication, and this can be easily cracked because the deepfake can learn from your audio video available and then can convert this audio video into something else and can basically imitate your authorization to your information system. This can be your DMAT access, this can be your bank account access, this can be your any transaction of authentication. So here, one, to authorize this. Second is a manipulation of market. So see how manipulation can be done. Now, if I trigger a lot of fake content and then do a massive rollout in social media, this can create a panic into the market. And fake news is basically causing a lot of stock prices to go up and down, and they are all AI generated misinformation system that we are seeing. If you see that, we are not aware of when we see a lot of reels, we are going through a lot of social media posts on n number of platforms. Many times we get this challenge that is this news a fake news or authenticated news, and the content of that fake news is so convincing. It looks like coming from a very authenticated scenario. So at this point of time, such content creators are huge. The objective can be different. It can be a social engineering based one-to-one sniper attack. It can be a huge blanket generation of misinformation, which can trigger a movement in the stocks, and it can propagate certain ideas to the investors where these stocks are going to do good immediately, you can invest, and so on. Now, earlier also these things were there, but now these are socially engineered fake news used. AI technology is used, the deepfake technology is used in order to uh, clear those. So two important areas. One is traditional biometric authentication and authorization of your access of accounts and transactions. And second is misinformation. So two important impact that we are going to see in very near term, and it's already happening as we speak. And we inform the investors what are the challenges going ahead into this. At this point, I would request our coordinator to run a quick poll to engage our audience. So, around two questions we can have.
The first poll is live.
Okay. I request all the participants to please go ahead, whatever you have learned so far. Okay. So, I think 60% is a nice target to achieve. So, we can end the poll and show the right answer. Okay. So, you can end the poll here and we can move on to second question. Most of have given the right answer. 49% of the people is like compliance is not there. Compliance is part of is not part of CI. This is the second question. Please read very carefully, and it's an easier one for you. This time we are having a lot of faster fingers. We reached around 20% now. You see, we reached around 56% so fast, and we're going to end this poll around 65% now. So those who have not posted, you can post it quickly. And we are going to reach around 65%. We can stop the poll and show the right results. So maximum, I can see people have answered right answer, which is number C. Deepfake is basically AI generated synthetic audio, video, and image. It is very realistic and can imitate people. So now we can stop sharing. Rest of the two questions we are going to do towards the end. I shared the results for both these, and most of you have correctly. Okay, so moving ahead with what we can do about these deep fakes. Now, this is very important since now you have understood. So, trying point of view, one important aspect which has happened is see the most of our software app websites, a lot of coders you have started using generative AI in order to code. And you will be also aware of that generative AI is going for sometimes goes for a toss, and that process is called hallucination. It generates a lot of incorrect information. Same thing goes into coding. Although the coders they are efficient enough to find out these flaws, but if it is a large code, a large piece of code and programs which are written using generative AI, so we get a lot of vulnerability within the software codes. Now these softwares are directly applied immediately. Since everyone is having a deadline to follow and so on. So my I suspect that that the level of quality which which generative AI might compromise, we might compromise on the quality in order to do things faster. And if a proper quality assurance has not been done, then this is going to be a big challenge. So what happens in this particular area is in this particular domain, we get a lot of vulnerability, and especially we are talking about the API vulnerabilities. API stands for the application programming interface, where interface of your bank is going to connect with the payment, and the payment gateway is connecting with the e-commerce. And somewhere in between, a hacker finds the vulnerability. This becomes a big challenge. So this is faced by a lot of regulators as well, because to find out and check the vulnerabilities, it takes huge time by the quality assurance team and the regulators and so on. And that's why we need to have proper compliances, mandatory, and so that everybody is going to follow a proper standard. And before deployment, they take proper precaution that we don't have vulnerabilities. AI has definitely helped so far to the hackers. They are able to do this quickly, but especially the financial firms, we are facing at BFSI level, we are facing a lot of pressure, not only at the regulator side of, but also the BFSI. And since the number of cyber events has basically increased a lot, so the BFSI, they have to report each and every cyber incident. And why this reporting is important, because once we share the reporting with the regulators, they propagate that this has happened to this particular bank, and other banks, they can take care of precautions into that particular scenario. So we are having a teething issue. Not every bank or not every company would like to quickly share transparently the cyber incidents. But this has been a challenge, I think, regulatory point of view, and we need to come up with some automated system where this can be done at a very faster level, because the compliances reporting cyber incident might be, maybe a fortnightly compliance and so on. But what is happening right now, hypothetically, let's say with the Kotak Bank, there is some attack going on. And if all the users of ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank are being informed right now, today itself, at this point of time, I think a lot of things can be saved. Similar cyber incidents in other banks can be saved. So this reporting has to be very transparent and in a real-time basis. So these are the certain areas where I think regulatory landscape point of view. Emerging threats, future challenges, autonomous malware is going to be a big threat. And location independent threats are also going to be very, very challenging. So some hacker can put these malwares into a data center, and like a time bomb, they can self-propagate, they can trigger at various point of time. And the hacker is physically safe at some in different country in a different location, and it will be very tough to sort of correlate to relate these attacks with that particular cyber attack. So these will be some challenges in the autonomous point of view. AI-driven disinformation we have already discussed. This is going to risk the bank. This is going to risk the stock market operations, the commodity market, F&O, and so on. Supply chain attacks are the attacks where the third-party vendors, and we can create a systematic risk in the supply chain of e-commerce sometimes, or other companies which are having these vulnerabilities. These can be impacted. What we need to understand some of the solutions as well. We have already discussed a little problems. So in couple of one or two slides, I am going to tell you in India specifically what important best practices we should adopt. First of all, don't use your date of year, birth year, date of birth as your password. This is a common practice, and it's absolutely bogus, wrong practice. We should always go for very strong password. We nowadays have password managers. If you are not able to handle and memorize the passwords, the best way is to write down the passwords into a physical notebook. And so you can, now you would say that I am using some 100 websites and different types of accounts and so on. How this is possible, how I am going to save it. First of all, don't save it in your Google Drive. Don't save it in your email software, right? Because those things can be also hacked. So if you want to save something in digital, the solution is make it physical. So the passwords which you are trying to protect, it's better you can note it down into the notebook. Secondly, you can categorize that which passwords are critical for you. So you can put up 3 categories: low, medium, and high. So your bank account, your demat account, and all those critical things which are related to finances, basically you give them highest priority, and those passwords should be protected next. and those passwords you should be noting it down on the notebook. Then there is a medium and low. So those things definitely you can save. You can use password managers and so on. So categorize, and accordingly you can manage. If you are facing a challenge of noting down all the passwords that you are using. Multi-factor authentication is a wonderful way because it makes the life of a hacker very complicated. I've seen people only using two-factor authentication. If it is a okay, so I lost you for another for a minute or so, and there's an additional feature which my system has got. Any change into the network settings and so on, it will go into a mode where it will reset itself. And this is a security feature which I have to keep it on my laptop. That's what exactly I was talking about. So if your laptop is a critical and important thing for you, you have to deploy these multi-factor authentication. Our disconnection just that happened is because of an advanced security feature, and we can take this opportunity to sort of see this demonstration that the system was able to identify a threat into the network and was able to shut down and disconnect all the possible connections. And so it is slightly disturbing sometimes during the meetings, but at the same time, I am confident that my network is pretty much secure. So that's exactly what we are talking about in this particular slide: is a multi-factor authentication system and so on. Secure browsing habit. This one is a good example where you have a software which will check your network security, and if something suspicious related to network which happens, it takes over and tries to stop any kind of malicious attack which can happen onto your system. Now this AI augmented threat detection tools, they are slightly in under development, but they are able to analyze the user behavior and then can detect the transaction anomalies. Uh, if you are running a certain enterprise level cyber security tools, you will definitely get these add-on features which can look into transaction anomalies and can immediately stop the system. Like network security is just one particular example. Similar tools you can deploy into your banking system and so on, but these are normally done at an enterprise level security level and not at the individual level. At individual level, first of all, I would suggest you that any mobile number and a registered email ID that you are using on your online trading, that particular mobile number as well as the email account and so on, they should have these multi-factor authentication. If there is two-factor authentication available, go for a two-factor authentication. Whatever multiple factors are available, so you can go for your password, a strong password, you can go for your biometric, you can also then look for a face recognition, as well as there's MPIN, mobile PIN, which is there. Please use that. So you can at least create a 4-level multi-factor authentication. This is very, very important, because if a hacker is able to access your email, if it is not having a multi-factor authentication, what scenario can be created is the hacker can open up your email account and then can trigger transaction into your uh, uh, demat account or your bank account, and the OTPs which are generated are going to your email. Okay. Now, if this email is having a vulnerability, if you are using a mobile phone where you are connected through your email account, and you are not able to control, is not a two-way authentication system based. Anybody can log in into your email. So that's why it is important. And once the OTPs are reaching into another device anywhere else, then you are pretty much vulnerable. One of the best good practice that you can do is please keep checking your important apps where they are logged in. So your banking apps definitely allow you to check on into the security from where you have logged in at this point of time. It's always good to check this thing time to time. And what you are going to see is sometimes you are not using one mobile phone and you have resold that mobile phone. You have taken it in Flipkart, Big Billion Day, and exchanged that particular phone. By mistake, you might have simply remained logged in into that particular mobile phone. And if that goes into a wrong hand, anybody can have access to your email. They can recover your password. They can log in into another device. So if you see any other device which is there where you have logged in, you can immediately log out. That option will be there. There is another option which says that log out from all the devices and systems. So that also you can do in the urgent scenario. Um, Ministry of Human Affairs (MHA) they have launched a zero FIR initiatives where the Indian Crime Coordination Center they have got. We also can report these cyber frauds in these websites which is there onto your screen, and this should be done immediately as soon as you get into a cyber attack, or your banks are compromised, or your information is compromised. Immediately use these portals. You can take a screenshot of this. These are the basic first important thing where you should be doing. You can report it at 1930. There's a complaint. There's a pilot going on which is called E0FIR. Um, Recently, it was done piloted in Delhi, but now they are moving into other locations as well. So AI and digital finance broadly, it has got the two-sided coin where we can use AI to enhance the services which are being offered in BFSI, but at the same time we are going to expose our users to such attacks, and that's why as a manager, if you are a manager in BFSI and listening to this particular talk, you have to take a strong call in terms of new development of AI/ML. And if because everyone is talking about implementing and including AI into various product and processes in our offering. So we have to take a very sincere approach to understand whether it will impact any kind of accessibility, whether it is going to create a different kind of vulnerability, and so on. And what should be the action point where we can stop and use better services here. So this the scams are going to become sophisticated, and phishing is going to become very sophisticated. Uh, there's nothing new here. We have already discussed everything. There's an important term, interesting term, which I found is called pig butchering. Now, this is a long-term scam where a fraudster is building trust with you over a period of time. So first they will link with you on a social media, and they will not do anything for another 1 month, 2 months, even 6 months, and so on. And slowly, they start interacting with you, so they are able to lure you, or they are able to understand your background, and so on and so on. And definitely can offer you, maybe they can offer you that I'm launching a new crypto asset, or I have invested in crypto asset, why don't you invest, click on this link and you can link your bank account here, and so on. So this is a long term scam in which I'm seeing the number getting higher. These were lesser in number earlier because they had to uh, hacker needs to devote a lot of time in order to do this. Using AI/ML, they are able to store this information, they are able to retrieve this information faster, and they are able to contextualize it very nicely using the advanced tools. So I see these kind of attacks are also going to happen a lot. So another important point is a lot of imposters can behave like a regulator. They can show that they are coming from the security agencies or SEBI, NSCR, or they are the RBI members. They can use some high profile financial expert profile and then can lure you. So you will going to check, that particular profile, and that profile might be authenticated, right? The information will be there on the website. But don't think that these messages, the emails are coming from the same source, right? So we as users, we tend to see and check the profile over internet. And when we find that convincing that the profile is genuine, but from where the messages are originated might not be genuine. So you have to take care of these particular aspects. I think this is the last slide also. And some 4 steps you can note down just to summarize all our discussions and trying to give you the best suggestions at this point of time. As an investor, wherever you are investing, please verify where you are investing. So verification point of view, you have to verify the portal, you have to verify the app. Is it the right app where you are verifying? Any app can look like a Zerodha app, and you think this is a Zerodha app, and you can, or this is a Zerodha website. Just giving hypothetical example here. So please check the registration, licensing, and do little due diligence about where you are going to do the transaction. Similarly, prioritize the core investment basics. Trending digital products, new type of product is going to come and is going to give you a very good return of 50-60% annual and so on, or your money is going to double. Definitely, nothing new can happen so fast that it is going to sort of create a revolutionizing kind of return. So don't get into that. This is the investment basics. Uh, the traditional systems, they move digital, but basically you don't get these unprecedented kind of return in some new portal and so on. So don't get into this. Most importantly, please guard your data. Don't freely distribute your Aadhaar card number and so on, PAN card number to n number of places. Try to guard wherever you can do. If you can use your voter ID or you can use your driving license, it is much safer to use and give it as an ID card instead of giving your Aadhaar card and PAN card. And then, especially when there is a suspicious activity, we as netizens, responsible citizen of India, we should be informing the regulatories about these particular scam, because you have identified, but there are a lot of vulnerable senior citizens and people who are not aware of these things. They might get that particular attack. So your proper reporting, don't close your eyes that, okay, I am saved now, let others face the music. No, this is not a right approach. So if you have identified as scam, please report on a particular website on whatever regulator you are connected with or is related to that particular regulator. That will help the law enforcement to find out the scammer and will protect others from that particular scam. So with this, I think we can end and go for a Q&A session quickly. Let me open up the chat window here. And since I got disconnected, my chat window looks empty right now. But if you have any queries, quickly you can ask, and I require the help of a coordinator. If they are seeing any questions which came in the beginning of the lecture, they can inform me. I can answer them.
Yes, sir. There are few questions in Q&A section. But before that, can we launch the 2 poll question which were remaining
Yeah,
earlier?
please go ahead.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, we can do. Poll number 3, we can launch. I have to, you have to open it because I can't see this live. Can you see the percentage?
Yes, sir, it's 26, 27. It's increasing.
I can't see the percentage. So if it is nearing around 60%, you can stop this poll and go for poll number 4.
Yes, sir, we can. I think it's already 63%.
Oh, wonderful. This one is an easier one, since this was recently covered just a short while ago. When it's reaching around 60%, let me know. You can close this as well. Okay, I hope most of you have given right answers here. All 4 we have already completed, so you can close this. So right answer for poll 3 was B, which is fast track complaint 7930 and so on. Poll 4 is basically pig butchering, which is the long term trust being built over a period of time. That's why it is called pig butchering. Okay, so with this we end our polls and we have ended our discussions as well. Q&A, please inform if there are any questions you can read out and I will be able to answer a couple of those.
So Arindam is asking that some online shopping sites request for registering card details for easy future use. Is this safe to do?
So nowadays there is a RBI guideline where you can, they have given instruction to e-commerce companies and online shopping site. They require so any site which is storing your credit card data, debit card data, you can definitely do this, but you will see a message where they are indicating is under the guidelines of RBI. So the first thing is you should be only purchasing from very good registered websites, important e-commerce, which will not run away. You know. Second is those messages are already there. You can, in a comfortable, store the information, and this storage is compliance with the RBI guidelines. Then it is pretty safe because they will mask your data. Your exact credit card information is not stored. It is masked and stored, and then it is pretty safe. So you can go ahead and I also store a lot of my credit card information on websites, but I know that where I am storing. If it is RBI compliances, then you can do that. I can see some questions now, so I'll quickly take and can do it in a faster way. Is a good practice to you have to scan your network environment and disconnect you from the internet in the event? Yes, yes, Vivek, this is very much possible, especially if you are running some transactions. The hackers can always connect through your network. So it is very important that you secure your office network as well as home network. We are very careless through our home network, right? Um, um, Assuming that nothing is going to happen there because you are using internet just for your TV and so on. So what else a hacker will do to change your TV channel or something? So we become little careless. But think about a scenario where hacker use the home network to install some software into your laptop, and then when you reach the office, you are using the same laptop. So you have to be very careful about this. Based on what enterprise systems you are using, that level of security is required. Then can we get into the recording is available. I have already shared the link. Best software for phone and laptop. There are a couple of softwares. I won't be able to name those here in this particular webinar, but please just go through which are the trusted softwares. And nowadays there is a big thrust for made in India kind of software solutions. You will definitely find those using the search tool. Secure high value DMAT accounts from cyber attacks. First of all, any email ID and registered mobile phone which is connected to your DMAT account, please make sure that you have multi-factor authentication for that particular email, which is your registered email ID. That's the first level of protection, and that will be good enough. Rest, your DP participant should be a good registered DP participant with a very good IT tools. Don't open your DP or your DP participant who is lesser tech savvy. Otherwise, they will not be able to secure your DMAT account. Algorithmic trading has started emerging, and chances of possible ways that manipulation will take place. This manipulation is happening, algorithmic trading or not. But what I see is that use of fake news in various portals in order to quickly hype the interest, buying or selling interest. These things are pretty much prevalent. What can happen at a very sophisticated cyber attack, that if your algorithmic software where you have ported those, and if you are running some algorithm from there, this hackers get a chance to get into those systems, then definitely you are going to face a lot of losses, because all the counter um, trades, they know that how you are trading, and they can put a counter um, trades based on your trades. These normally happen at enterprise level. So until unless you are some kind of large firm who is trading in large volumes and deployed algorithmic trading, you don't have to worry about this. But at individual level, just protect your demat and your basic laptop and mobile phone. That is good enough to start with. Suspicious links definitely should not click. Uh, but the challenge is, suppose you are getting a link from your friend, and you know that it is coming from your friend, and you click that, and your friend might be receiving that particular link, which is connected with some kind of a script, and as soon as you click on the link, your accounts and mobile phone, etc., can be hacked. Now, in that scenario, the recent development which I see, the telecom operators nowadays, they are pretty aggressive in order to identify those links. And when you receive those links, the users, when they receive the links, they are not able to click on these links. They make it unclickable. So that is a protection nowadays being provided by the telecom operators. But beyond this, you should be not clicking any untrusted source, and that is the only thing which you should be sort of careful while surfing and so on. Connecting with the device to public Wi-Fi network, I have already told you, better use standard uh, antivirus, and which can find out any kind of, it's a proactive version of any software which can detect any kind of anomaly and can take over. So it can be a network-based attack, it can be a within software-based attack, and so on your data. If you have some critical data in your laptop, you can put it into a locker within your laptop, or you can keep it safe into cloud as well. But it should be having a multi-factor authentication and so on. So these multi-factor authentication, can you please explain what it is? So to access your email, you can use password. In combination with password, you can also have biometric, you can have face recognition, you can have a MPIN, and so on. So more factor you deploy. So if someone is putting up your email ID, and even if they have the password, when they will click on this, it will require a biometric, and which you can only trigger. Okay. Also keep a second email into your settings. Anyone who is trying your email onto a new device, the email should go to your email ID definitely, where you should be receiving, and one secondary email ID which any other person is also receiving. So your trusted friend or any family member, your son or father, in whatever situation you are, you can have two email ID to sort of cross verify. So whenever it is implemented on a new device, it is installed into a new device, two people can get separate emails, and then you can warn each other in those scenarios that, hey, have you used your email on this particular device? And immediately you can check out in the setting where email has been installed recently on what device, and you can log out immediately. This has to be done in very fast. Don't wait for that, okay, I'll check it in morning. Please don't do it. If it is someone is trying late in night getting into your email ID, so obviously you should not have a sound sleep, and should protect your digital assets first, and then you can have a sound sleep. There are so many questions. I think we have answered most of it, and I will request the coordinator to take over now and really wonderful to have a discussion with all of you and interesting questions you have. Coordinator, you can take over and wind up.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for the taking time and speaking at the webinar. Your insight, expertise, and engaging presentation as well truly made a lasting impact on our audience, sir. Thank you again, sir, for sharing your time and knowledge with us. Yeah, wishing you a wonderful day ahead, sir. And also thank you to participants for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Yeah, your presence and engagement truly made the session meaningful and impactful. Yeah, thank you all for joining us today.